guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers again. It's Sunday, and I've got like so much crap to do in my...
in a quarter mile, take exit 3 for New York 105 Massapequa.
You know...
Take exit 3, then turn left onto Siemens Neck Road.
And got 2 engines to fix. I got the 4-wheel steering thing. I got this ground blower I haven't even looked into. Got just so much to do, you know what I mean? I got to get rid of those damn red bricks from my old walkway and make a patio in the backyard, you know? I just got so much to do. And so while I was, you know, getting ready to, you know, start working on one of those engines, or, you know, check out that Zongshen engine that Nick gave me, right? I'm in the middle of it. My hand's all greasy and deep inside. I was just about to start filming. And then on Instagram, one of my old friends, Joe Cardoso, you guys remember him? He was the one who bought my second Husqvarna Pete Lombardi lawn tractor. The 21K46, I think that's what it was. Anyway, he lives in Mineola, and he started getting into tractors too, you know.
In half a mile, take exit 2W for New York 27 West toward New York.
He just texted me and he says, hey, my friend's throwing out this Craftsman Lt2000 lawn tractor. I don't know anything else about it. It's got a 22 horsepower Briggs vtwin in it, and also he has another working 15.5
take exit 2W
Briggs engine that works, but he wanted $75 for it. I says to Joe, you know I don't...
Continue on New York 27 West for 1.5 miles.
I know. You want to trade anything? I says, yeah, what do you want? So I'm bringing the edger that Nick gave me in that other trade, and I'm bringing that Echo weed whacker that was made in Japan.
In 1,000 feet, take the exit toward Merrick Road.
Whatever, man, you know.
Take the exit toward Merrick Road.
Anyway, so I'm meeting him now in East Meadow, Long Island. It's like 40 minutes away from me.
Continue on.
Okay, so I'm here. I'm over at Joe's friend's house. Hey, you guys remember Joe Cardoso, right?
Hey guys, how you doing?
He was the one that bought the Pete Lombardi Husqvarna 21K46. And hey, so look, this is Joe's buddy's house, and both of them were working on tractors like we all do, right? And then they did so well with it that people started asking him about motorcycle jobs and quad jobs, and that stuff apparently was a lot more profitable to do. And so they basically kind of abandoned the lawn tractor, small engine stuff, and started working on bikes and quads. It's a lot more profitable. You guys remember Joe's truck? Holy cow, man. He's got new rims on there. He lifted a little bit, changed the front lights a little. The rhino dipped the front grille. Man, that's awesome. Hey, hey Joe, so tell our viewers about that Husqvarna. Now, you guys remember that Husqvarna tractor, right? That I rebuilt. I had put Loctite, red Loctite, on the sump for that Kohler Courage, and I even told Joe before he bought it. I says, "Bro, are you sure you want this? Because it's a Kohler Courage. You seem like a cool guy, so I'm just going to be upfront with you, right? And that the Kohler Courages suck because the sump bolts come off. But I put red Loctite on those sump bolts." So I was pretty sure they were not going to come loose. But he wanted it. We did the deal. You know, you got a good deal on it. You paid $450 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
I mean, I had to make room in my garage. You know what I mean? So anyway, when I saw Joe today, I said, "So how's your Husqvarna? How's it going?" He goes like this.
So I said, "Guess where it is?" And I told him where it's gonna go and where we're gonna use it. So I ended up shipping it over to Portugal, overseas.
No kidding, Portugal, another country, man.
We went to a different country, and it's being used every week there, and it runs like a clock. My stepfather uses it every week, and he turns it on, and he sent me videos and pictures of it. I'll show you, of it running. Him cutting the grass with his beer in the beer holder.
No kidding.
No joke. It runs like a clock.
That's
every single
awesome,
time.
Man. Hey, see? Work done by Mowers and Blowers, a Kohler Courage in Portugal, and it's running like a top, man.
Yep.
That's awesome. I should have put a Mowers and Blowers sticker on it, right? And then his dad sending me a picture of it running around in Portugal. That's awesome, man.
You're going worldwide now.
Hey, you know what? Damn it, I forgot to bring some mowers and blowers stickers for you. Next time you go to Portugal.
No, next time. I'll be going there next summer.
Yeah. All right, so look, he out of nowhere, I haven't talked to Joe in like a long time since he bought the tractor. You know, I mean, we had some text messages a little bit afterwards, but then, you know, some time passed and nothing else. I didn't hear from him much. And then today, you know, I was getting ready to go to Nick's over in Medford to pick up 2 more tractors, right? And then he just went and got it himself because essentially it is his, you know. I'm just going to go help him or something and get some out of it. But then I was looking on my Instagram and Joe texted me. He says, "Hey, you want this tractor?" And I'm like, "For free?"
Of course. If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah, that's he hasn't seen me in a while, and he knows exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
So I said, "Is it free?" He goes, "Yeah, man, it's free. I wouldn't. I know you."
Of course.
So then he goes, I said, "Free? I'm all about that, bro." And then he says, "Hey, I got this 15 horsepower Briggs overhead valve one for you. If you need that." And I says, "Man, I just got like 3 engines, but I gotta rebuild them and all. It's a pain, you know." He says, "This one's ready to go, right?" And I says, "Free?" He goes, No. This is like $75. And I says, $75? That's a pretty good deal already. You know what I'm saying?
It's not bad. I was trying to, you know.
But everybody knows that cheap ass Henry will never pay for anything unless it's absolutely necessary, right? And so he's like, "Yeah, okay, I understand." And I says, "Do you want to trade for something? I've got a ground blower that doesn't run. I've got an edger that I got to trade through Nick, right?" And he goes, "Well, actually, I could use an edger. Why don't you just bring the edger, right?" And I says, "Well, you want a push mower with a Predator engine on it?" He's like, "No, you probably have that. You don't really need that." You know what I'm saying?
I have my snapper.
And he has this snapper. He's got the Forrest Gump "Can't Buy Me Love" one. That he rebuilt the whole engine by himself, you know. Anyway, so then I said, "The edger, huh? Okay." And then I go, "Well, what about a weed whacker?" And he's like, and then I thought to myself, "Wait, why am I offering the weed whacker? The weed whacker could be worth some money to me, you know." But then Joe's been really good to me, so I'm like, you know what? Share the wealth. So then I asked him, "Hey, do you want my Japanese-made Echo from like 80s or something?" And he's like, "Actually, I could use a backup weed whacker." And I says, "Oh, you're gonna love this one. This one's like a collector's item, you know. It's from the old school and it runs like a top, you know." And then he's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take the weed whacker." I'm like, "Damn it." But whatever, a deal's a deal, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's giving me this engine. He says it works.
Well, I'll tell you the story on it real quick.
Oh yeah, good.
So I got this engine and the same exact engine and a 12.5 horsepower. Same exact engine. I wanted to upgrade.
But the 12.5 is a flathead, not overhead.
Not
valve.
overhead.
Gotcha.
Correct. And I wanted to upgrade my snapper. The 9 horsepower that's on there now, the one I rebuilt, runs like a charm. I have that one at home, but I wanted some more power. So I got the 12 on there. So I was looking on the internet and I found somebody on, I believe it was Craigslist, if I'm not mistaken, was selling this engine, a package deal, this engine and the 12.5 horsepower engine for $100.
That's a deal.
That's a deal.
And they both ran.
They both ran. That's what he's telling me. With starters, both of them with starters, as is, take them. They both ran. They came out of running machines. So I went to pick them up. I gave the guy $100 and I kept one. This one I was planning on doing a swap on this if I couldn't get that going because I didn't have the time to rebuild that engine, which is a great engine.
So tell me about this one.
This one.
So tell me about the whole tractor, like where you got it and all that other jazz.
We got this tractor and a second tractor just like it from Connecticut, from a guy that was tinkering around, didn't have the time to do it, wanted to get rid of them. Come get them now ASAP. Took both tractors. I think we paid $150 for both. And we got them back over here. One was just a wiring issue. We tried to mess around with this one. We took it apart a little bit to see what was going. We got it to turn over, but it's sputtering and believe it's timing issue. We're not sure. So we just put it to the side because we were busy. And now it's been sitting for a while, and it's in my buddy's way, and we want to get rid of it. And I thought of, you know who, mowers and blowers, baby.
Awesome.
Take it fully apart and check everything, go over, replace rings, whatever had to be done.
Yeah.
But we don't do it. It's been sitting, and we need it out of here.
Right. No, and I appreciate you thinking of me, man.
Yep.
And this is like a decent engine, man. Decent. It's like 22 horsepower,
It's a
man.
monster.
V-twin. So if I could get this going, man, that'd be badass. But I've got so many goddamn projects, man. You know, I'm overwhelmed. But listen, it was wonderful to see Joe again, man. And thank you very much for the deal.
No problem, buddy. Oh, you should see my backyard. So we had to make a call on it. We're like, you know what? I thought of you right away. I said, it's going to you.
Awesome.
You want it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Watch me not be able to get back in here. The reason why I'm in here is because sometimes the cable gets stuck on in between here and it winds in there.
It winds in there,
So
yeah.
I want to like kind of, I
You
don't
can
know.
weld a
man.
little plate there, a guard plate.
Yeah.
You weld a little guard plate or bolt it. You should also put a little beam here.
Yeah.
That way you're not rubbing
It
on
keeps
the wood.
that way it keeps it centered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just watch it. So far, so good. See how close it's getting to that side over there?
Yeah, because it pulls from the tension of the wire. It
Yep.
spool that way.
Pain in the ass, man. So far, so good, though.
Yeah, it's not jumping in.
Oh shit! Leaking big time gasage.
Oh no, that's not good. Where's it coming from?
Got a. It's just loose.
Oh, it just came out. It came out, or?
Yeah, but I don't know where the other end is. What the hell? I need like a bolt. Hey, grab me a. Didn't you have a bag of bolts? Or
Yeah, they're on the seat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, grab me like a 3/8 or something. You know, what'll fit this? Man, that gas is funky with the starter.
Yeah, it's been sitting, man. We had fresh gas in it. We didn't even run it off this tank. We ran it off. We have a small tank.
Yeah.
We were running it off the fresh tank. So we don't even know what that fuel looks like in there. It's probably old.
That's good.
It works.
Yeah. Thanks.
That makes it so much easier with that on.
Oh, big time.
Awesome. That is awesome.
That. And it didn't get stuck.
Nope.
That's it, baby. No, you're right.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, dude. Two people, always get two people, man.
Right.
Hurt your back.
Not worth it.
So what are you off to doing now, man?
I'm gonna go home and work on my snapper. I gotta get that going.
Hey guys, how you doing? So this day is turning into Motherload 20, man. I'm back here at Nick's again.
Yep, round two.
Unbelievable, right? So he went and his off-web deal that he was talking about the other day, they said they were going to do it next week, but turns out the guy called him today and said, hey, let's do it today. So he went out and he got this John Deere Sabre, took the engine out. The engine was
The
15.
usual, Nick engine rape.
And then the second part of it was this thing. It's a horizontal shaft Cub Cadet. And it's got the drive shaft in the middle, which is kind of cool, you know. But honestly though, if this is pretty far gone, and even if I took it, I'd have a dilemma of finding another horizontal shaft engine in it, you know. Same thing with my GT6000, which I eventually got, but man, if I threw an 18 horse Vanguard on here, it'd be awesome. Horizontal. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, though. I mean, I'm thinking about just trading with Nick, right? Taking the Sabre, right? Stripping this of its wheels, the deck, and any other damn part that will come off, including the seat. And then Nick will just scrap it with a scrapper. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet. I'm just standing here in Nick's driveway, and both of us are just scratching our heads going, what are we going to do? So we're in the process of trying to fit both into my van. The edger that I traded with him is going back to him for these two. Is this insanity? You guys were watching that, right? First time we ever got two tractors into my van. It's unreal. I honestly didn't think it was physically possible to do. But Nick was insistent. He says, no, man, let's try it. I know it'll work. Thank you. I know it'll work if we just like put it in like diagonally, right? And we actually got that John Deere Sabre to go in completely horizontal. And this Cub Cadet is actually a garden tractor because of the four lugs on the hub, as well as the middle drive shaft to the horizontal pulleys. I wasn't going to take it, to be honest with you, because it was a little far gone. Not to mention the fact that where am I going to get another horizontal engine for it, you know what I mean? So I was going to just strip it of its parts, and then Nick was going to just scrap it, you know? But then, after I saw it was a garden tractor, it made it more enticing to me. And I figure it's kind of worth something, you know what I mean? So, we just piled it in here. And as you saw, the Sabre's inside too. I can't believe it. Got it in there. So, I didn't have to make an extra trip to come and get the other one, which is great. And thanks Nick a lot for two more tractors without engines. But honestly, I didn't really care too much about the edger anyway because it doesn't have the guard. I always think that as I'm edging, that blade will be like a ninja star right to the center of my skull, you know what I mean? It doesn't have the protective guard on it. I got this from Nick anyway, so it's back at Nick's house along with the two single-stage snow blowers, and in total I've gotten 4 lawn tractors without engines from Nick. Oh, Nick also gave me 2 engines that smoke. It's cool. I like these parts, you know. I'll fiddle with them. I'm just a little overwhelmed at the amount of work I need. What is that? Oh, that's a transmission dipstick. Yeah. Cletus, you dipstick!
Cletus, you know what you are? You're a dipstick. A 14-karat dipstick.
So I'm home now. Can you believe we got 2 tractors in that van? Honestly, I was actually thinking about not taking them, but I didn't really want that edger anyway. It was dangerous, you know. And well, I think I would rather have the 2, you know, lawn tractors as a project anyway. I don't think it'll take too much to get the Sabre by John Deere going, because I think it just needs some a tube in the tire and an engine, you know. I'm working on 2 engines now, maybe 3. I've got a spare engine, but I'm putting that spare engine that I got from Joe Cardoso into the 4-wheel steering. I'm going to try to get that Craftsman Lt2000 going. For the time being, I'm parking the Lt1000 in the backyard. The yard machines has been listed, and I can't keep track. I've got too many tractors all of a sudden, you know. How did this happen, you know? That Cub Cadet, it's a garden tractor actually. It's got the 4-wheel lugs on the hub, it's got the heavy-duty transmission, and it's got a drive shaft that goes from the front to the back. It actually has a tunnel right where the foot is, where the drive shaft goes through. So that's a heavy-duty machine, man. Problem is, I'm gonna need to find a horizontal shaft engine that has the drive shaft coupler on the top and the pulley on the bottom. Pulleys will drive the mower deck, and the front part will hook to the drive shaft that powers the drive system. So that's probably going to be my biggest challenge, is to acquire an engine that's going to be able to accommodate those types of pulleys to get the mower deck and the drive shaft to work. So, and that thing is heavier than hell, okay? Solid tractor. It's got some surface rust and it looks rough right now, but if you put an engine in it and the 2 side panels for the hood compartment, as well as giving it a fresh coat of paint on the surface rust areas, I think it's going to be cool, you know. So I couldn't pass it up. That left rear tire is Dunsky, and it's such a heavy thing. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to roll it anywhere on this gravel, this RCA that I have here right now, you know. But I'm going to first, you know, take it down, both tractors by myself, hoping that I don't kill myself, and we'll go from there. I might have to just park these 2 right here outside in my driveway because they won't be able to roll anywhere, you know. I thought about just backing my truck to my gate in my backyard, but then I'm going to have to get those tractors here somehow to work on them, you know, to get the tires inflated and stuff. And it's easier if it's right next to my garage. So I'm just going to dump them right here. And I'll do a time lapse because it's going to take me a while. Wasn't all that bad. I thought I was gonna have a real tough time getting these things out, you know, by myself, you know, since they were both like, you know, packed into my truck. Crazy. Anyhow, so I'm gonna work on getting that back on the bead again, maybe put a tube in it, and at least it'll hold air so I can push this thing around, you know. I'm going to have to use a tube and put it in there too because this is Dunsky. Unless the tire comes off, I have a bunch of spare tires that work, you know. Going to put the seat back on. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to do all that, you know. But I do need to get them rolling, you know. This one, fortunately, rolls there. Tire's good here. This, fortunately, is just one bad tire. Completely off the bead, see? They put some tire slime in there. Told you, slime does not work. Listen, this is all just surface rust, man. It's solid. There's no rust in here. I mean, there's no rot. It's all good. I like it. Seat's actually okay. I had this power washer frame. I used it to help me pull. This tire is actually good. Deck's not bad at all. I think though my challenge is getting a horizontal shaft engine in there that has both the pulley on the bottom and on the inside, if you will, pulley on the bottom and the drive shaft coupler on the top. So that's going to be the biggest difficult hurdle to overcome if I wanted to repower this. Now, if I was going to put like a snowblower engine on there, which is what I was thinking about doing, I could probably only power the drive and not be able to power the blades unless I got a shorter belt and a double stack pulley on the same side, you know, which is a challenge. That's actually how I powered my GT6000. But that thing doesn't have a mower deck, so it's just for drive. This is my first Cub Cadet. I always wanted a Cub Cadet, but they were always too expensive, you know. Nobody was giving them up for free, except for today. Well, not free, but I traded with Nick. It was essentially free. I gave him his edger back. So with Nick, I've gotten 4 tractors with no engines, 2 engines that smoke, and all I gave him was 2 single-stage snow blowers and the edger. I didn't want those 3 things anyway, so Nick just wants something for them, you know. He wants to feel like he got a good deal, that he got something for them instead of just chucking them, which I'm exactly like that, so I completely understand. So I'm fine with the deal as long as he is. Hey! Anyway, so that's today, man. The Cub Cadet garden tractor with no engine. The Sabre by John Deere. No engine. The Craftsman Lt2000 with an engine, but it doesn't run. And a 15.5 engine from Joe Cardoso. And all I gave up was my Echo weed whacker that I thought was super rare. I still think it's rare. You can't find them anywhere. Look online. Look online for an Echo 2000 CE GT. GT 2000 CE. You won't find them anywhere. And it's a really nice weed whacker. But like I said, unless I could find some schmo around the world who wants to pay me $500 for it, I'm not going to find it anytime soon here in Long Island. So might as well let Joe have it, right? I think it was worth it. I got this tractor out of it and that engine. Boy, do I need engines. Also, I have started to kind of work. Ooh, lights are much better, huh? Kind of started to do this today until Nick gave me a text and told me to come and get those things. And then Joe Cardoso called and I had to go and see him. So this is the 21 horsepower one that smokes a lot. Nick took it apart. I can't put it back together again because it's missing. It's missing the little thing that, there's 2 of them that go on the top of the valve, that hold the valve onto the spring, you know what I mean? It's missing one of those. I only have 3. I'm missing one of these, which goes on top of the valve spring, and I don't know what that is. But it was in there, and I only have 1. So I don't know what it is. I only had 1 of these. I don't know what it is. But it kind of fits here. This is the head. It kind of fits there. But I don't think it belongs there. Kind of fits there too. So I don't think it belongs there. It has like a rubber flange on there. I don't know what it is. These top things I have, but I'm missing one of these little things. So I can't work on this engine until I get those parts. Maybe I'll look on eBay and find them. Because I can't put this together, right? So if I can't put it together, I can't work on it. So I have to look on the internet for a bit to get this together. And the reason why it smokes, we looked at the bore. It is super smooth. This is the piston that came out of it. We're not 100% sure that this is the right piston. 28-33. Briggs & Stratton. AVS. Here's the rings to it. Rings feel, these 2 feel good. But this oil ring on the bottom, it seems like it's not protruding as much. And an oil ring is supposed to stop the oil, right? Well, apparently it doesn't, so that's why it smokes a lot. So This ring on the bottom, the oil ring, is a little questionable. It's even questionable whether or not this piston is the right piston. But it looks brand new, like somebody tried to rebuild it but didn't rebuild it right. Maybe he was missing some of these parts off the head. Here's the camshaft. It's in good shape with a good compression release lever. Aluminum intake push rod, steel exhaust push rod, both not bent, good condition. It's a governor gear, camshaft gear is good, tappets. So, you know, I just need that stuff that goes on top of the head. I don't have it. I mean, I have some for a flathead, but not for an overhead valve. So this engine on the right here, he says it works, but it smokes under load. Like when the PTO's engaged, it smokes. He took the starter off of it, as well as the intake and the carburetor. So, I mean, I could get both of these running eventually, I know it, but not anytime soon though, you know. So I'm going to work on this one next. This is my next project. Lt2000 I got from Joe Cardoso for free. It looks like it needs an ignition switch for sure. Hey! It's a Briggs vtwin. And they really, you know, didn't try to turn this over too much, you know. The starter is Dunsky. They said the starter was fried. And before that, they got it to kind of turn and it sputtered a lot. And I said, maybe it's the carburetor. And he's like, maybe. So I don't think they went through the carburetor. So I think if I just clean out the carburetor, I know that I have to clean it out because a new replacement carburetor is like $150, $200, which is ridiculous, which I'm not going to do. So I'm going to clean out that carburetor, find a starter for this, and maybe we can get this baby going. Wheels hold air. Everything else seems very good. Copacetic. Good tractor. Nice engine. If I could get this engine running, man, it would be really cool. So that's my next project. Only because that's what I want to do. You know, I know that what's in queue is my four-wheel steering one with that with no engine on it. That engine on there is the Powermore Zongshen one that has no compression. I haven't even torn into that yet, you know. But I'm going to put Joe Cardoso's engine that I traded my weed whacker for. That's supposed to be a good working engine. I could just slap that on the four-wheel steering and be done with it. But the four-wheel steering one doesn't have a hood. It's got rust all over the place and needs a lot of reconditioning. So that's another project that... God damn it, I'm so overwhelmed already. Anyway, so that was today, though. 3 tractors and 3 engines. I got 3 tractors and 3 engines. If you count the one in here, I guess it's 4 engines. Can you believe that? What a motherload, eh? This is Motherload 20. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram @MowersBlowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on the next project. Have a great day. And I want to thank you for all the support of Mowers and Blowers. If you'd like, make a short video clip like these, and I'll put it as an outro in my future videos.
See you guys next time, Mowers and Blowers!